Boom! What's up, familia? Dayspring here, reporting live from JFK Airport. I got here early and I wanted to edit and record some videos. And I wasn't gonna report on this officially on the podcast / YouTube page because I was like, oh, Matthew Vaughn said something about Halle Berry to the Hollywood Reporter. But the story has gotten so much engagement on our Instagram page, and I saw that so many other news outlets have picked it up, like TMZ. And I was like, you know what? If it's good enough for TMZ, it's good enough for Power of X-Men. So the Hollywood Reporter was sitting down with Matthew Vaughn, and he was speaking about his experiences in Hollywood, and he was originally supposed to be on X3, as we know, but he left. And he gave a comment about why he was leaving. So let's dive into the article. It's a couple paragraphs. We'll read it and then we'll discuss it. This is the article. He spoke openly about his experiences in Hollywood, he being Matthew Vaughn, frequently throwing jabs at the machine and industry politics. He had a lot to say about his time in the X-Men universe. Whoa! Including one of the major decisions he decided to walk away from the job. Now, this is for X3 because he would come for X-Men First Class. I went into one of the executives' office and I saw an X3 script and I immediately knew it was a lot fatter. I was like, what the hell is this draft? He went, don't worry about it. And I'm like, no, I'm the director. I'm worrying about this draft, he recalled. He wouldn't tell me, so I grabbed it literally. It was like a crazy moment. Opened the first page and it said, Africa, storm, kids, dying, no water. She creates a thunderstorm and saves all these children. Vaughn admitted he found it a pretty cool idea, but once he learned what was going to happen to the script, his relationship to the project soured. I went, what is this? They said, oh, it's Halle Berry's script. I went, okay, because she hasn't signed up yet. Okay, well, this is where the article gets juicy. The executive says, but this is what she wants it to be. And once she signs up, we'll throw it in the bin. Wow, familia. So we, as a fandom, owe Halle Berry an apology. And I know a lot of you out there are probably going to say, no, we actually liked her as Storm. And that's fine. I'm not saying everyone disliked her portrayal of Storm. But she was sort of ragged on a lot when these movies were coming out, especially on the message boards. In X1, I mean, her infamous line, do you know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? By the way, completely not her fault because the running gag for Toad in the original script was going to be Toad bouncing around saying, do you know what happens to a toad when he gets cornered? And that was sort of going to be his catchphrase. So that's why Halle Berry was going to say something so ridiculous to him, like, do you know what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning? That's how the line was originally supposed to play out. And then, of course, in X2 and X3, because she had won her Oscar, we thought that she wanted more screen time, that her agents were demanding that she was at the forefront, and we're like, oh, Halle Berry, wanting so much screen time just because she thinks she's a better actor than everyone else on screen. And then, in Days of Future Past, I watched the movie at the Times Square AMC, and Bryan Singer came in at the time, and when Storm dies in Days of Future Past, the entire audience started applauding. I was like, man, the Storm, like Halle Berry as Storm, people really just didn't vibe with her portrayal of Storm, and everyone was like, we should have gotten another actor to play Storm. She doesn't know, she didn't get her accent changed, the hair's always changing. But this article tells us that Halle Berry really wanted Storm to be comics accurate. And I really applaud her for still coming on. And by the way, I'm pretty sure this is not the first time Halle Berry has heard the story. I don't think she's responded yet. But I just want to say that not only did she come back for X3, but she also came back for Days of Future Past. She's most likely coming back for Deadpool 3. Halle Berry has proven that she is a team player, that she understands the significance of a character like Storm. So I think, I know in the past I have been like, oh gosh, Halle Berry's portrayal of Storm, No, I am sorry, Halle Berry, because you had to deal with a lot of behind-the-scenes shit, stuff like this. That's completely unfair. On top of being a woman of color in Hollywood, now you have executives that are trying to pull a fast one on you because they just want you to sign up for the movie, and then they're going to be like, "Oh, script change. Sorry, this is what you do." So when Halle Berry comes back for Deadpool 3, and we're hoping she really does, I hope they give her the real leadership role that Storm deserves. I think Storm had that in X3. I think she had a sliver of that in X3. She certainly didn't have it in X1. X2, her and Jean had her own, side mission. And then in Days of Future Past, she was part of, the larger team. But Storm is a character who commands every scene, every panel that she is in. I hope they give Halle Berry the opportunity to do that, and they give her a good script. But I have to tell you, my opinion of Halle Berry has skyrocketed through the roof right now. She still came back even after all of that. Familia, that is something that I am just like in awe about. We know the sets for X3 and X1 and X2 were tough. Brett Ratner, the stories have come out about what's happened with Brett Ratner. We know Bryan Singer, those stories are all out there. And she still came back to all of those movies, even when she was being given dummy scripts. Well, we don't know if she was in the end given these dummy scripts, but they were writing scripts that were purposely going to be thrown out just to lure her back because she's a box office draw. And she still came back to all those movies despite everything behind the scenes, and she also did Days of Future Past, and it's likely she's going to be doing Deadpool 3. Halle Berry, we apologize to you. Okay, before we go, why don't we take a look at that infamous tote scene? I hope my audio isn't terrible. I typically can record at an airport because I have a really good Scarlett thing with my headphones, but I'm not doing this through Zoom. I'm doing it through OBS, so I wonder if it's the same thing. All right, let's see. If the audio sucks, Familia, I'm sorry. But, all right. Ooh, I'm so excited. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at this scene right now. She looks great with that. I never thought her hair looked bad at all in X1. I actually preferred it. I didn't like X3. I liked it in Days of Future Past. Oh my god. Look at that. Boom. Oh. Same thing that happens to everything else. Wow. Yeah. Listen, the line is what it is, but had the running gag been there the entire time, had Toad's catchphrase was kept in the original script, if Toad's original catchphrase was kept, I'm sure the scene would have made so much more sense. Halle Berry looks great. I mean, listen, I know these are early aughts VFXs, but they look great. And I love this shot right here. I think she just looks so regal here. Oh gosh, look at that. All right, Familia, that is our breakdown of everything that's going on with Matthew Vaughn and Halle Berry. How do you feel about the situation? Did you always like Halle Berry as Storm? Do you want to see her come back in Deadpool 3? Leave your comments and your feels down below.